Hello, I'm Rebekah Laur'en, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
And I'm Carol Mitchell, Team Rayceen Productions co-host and moderator.
Joining us is Sage Cassell-Rosenberg. Welcome.
I'm so happy to be here, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Before we talk about your organization, please tell the viewers a little about your background and who you are.
Certainly. So my name is Sage Cassell-Rosenberg. I use they, them, and he, him pronouns. And I'm located in Wilton Manors, which in case you're not familiar with the state of Florida, it's the tiny neighborhood that's located about 10 minutes away from the Fort Lauderdale airport. But I was actually born and raised in Miami Beach in the modern Orthodox Jewish community. And as a Black Jew, I was very used to being othered. And this is something that there weren't many other people who looked like me. The only other Black Jewish adult I knew was actually just my own mother. And this is something where I continuously kind of felt othered within my own religion. And I commonly say I felt like a tourist actually within my own religion. And, this is something that was very painful, but I like to say that someday this pain will be useful to you. This is actually from a book that I read by Cyrus Aaron. And this is something where I've kind of used the pain of being othered in order to create spaces of belonging that I felt like younger me and current me would thrive in. So I'm just thrilled to now be at my dream job at Keshet as the Jews of Color program manager.
Awesome. That is amazing. Well, you've told us a little bit, but please do tell us about your organization, Keshet, including how it began.
Definitely. I'd be more than happy to. So Keshet was founded over like 20 years ago, and it began as like this grassroots initiative to create inclusive Jewish communities specifically for LGBTQ plus individuals. And since then has grown into a national organization advocating for the full equality of LGBTQ plus rights in Jewish life and in the state at large.
That's really interesting. How does your personal and professional background influence the work that you do with Keshet?
Definitely. So before I was at Keshet, this was something where, again, like DE&I has always been like that diversity, equity, inclusion training specifically have always just been my bread and butter. Before I was already feeling very othered within the Jewish community as a Black Jew. This is before I even realized that I was also queer and trans. So that's a lot of otherness to add to one person's plate. And from there, again, using that kind of framework of someday this pain will be useful to you, I've used the pain of being othered in society in order to teach about how to create spaces with higher levels of belonging, with higher levels of diversity and inclusion. And prior to my work at Keshet, I actually managed an education company where we focused on using e-learning in order to teach emotional intelligence, specifically to create spaces of higher levels of belonging and psychological safety for historically marginalized people. So fast forward to now where, again, I'm at my dream job where I'm at, again, it's an LGBT Jewish organization where I work specifically with Jews of color who are LGBTQ. Like that is literally me, just all of me combined into one job. And now I just feel so honored and blessed that I get to create spaces like the photo that's being shown right now, where it was an actual retreat that was this Shabbat experience just for LGBTQ plus Jews of color, which is something that actually has never happened. So it was a historic gathering and also literally one of my second favorite Jewish experiences, like after my wedding.
Sage, that's beautiful. It's nice and lovely to hear when people find their space and their people. So on the terms of that, what are some of your organization's goals and what do you personally want to accomplish in your role?
Definitely. So organizationally, like looking at the broader picture, what what Keshet's trying to just pioneer, or not even just contribute, to make better, just do tikkun olam, which is a Hebrew saying for repairing the world. And how we do this repairing the world is through community mobilization, where we get Jewish community members, organizations, and leaders to care about the anti-LGBT laws that are in their states and in the country. We also do education and training, where we try to just meet people where they're at, but also allow them to grow into folks who can create and nurture spaces where LGBTQ plus folks and LGBTQ plus plus Jews of color specifically can thrive, because what we like to do is kind of talk about the unspoken and spoken norms that we have in society that end up being for the detriment of people who don't fit into like the standards or the norms of practice of what it means to be a human and what it means to be a human being, specifically in Jewish spaces. I know very commonly one of the most popular things people say to me when they hear that my name is Sage Cassell-Rosenberg and I am a Jewish person is, oh my God, I would have never guessed you were Jewish. But it's so funny for me is because I didn't try like McDonald's till the age of 18. So my whole worldview has just been pretty much being a part of the Jewish community, but yet I still feel like somehow I'm an outsider. So much of my program priority is one, creating spaces specifically and resources specifically by and for LGBTQ plus Jews of color, where one, we can see ourselves represented, we can find spaces of healing, we can find spaces of joy, we can find spaces of just being able to be ourselves with other community members. And the second part of my job is doing education, right? That's what Keshet is known for. Keshet is known for educating on how can we be more inclusive? How can we have a better understanding of dealing with folks who are maybe different than the folks we're used to? So I've started doing a training specifically called, But You Don't Look Jewish, Unpacking and Addressing Unconscious Bias, right? Using myself as an example of how people's unconscious biases might be playing out, because I walk in with my tattoos, my painted nails, doing my thing, and no one is expecting that I'm the one who's going to be leading the session that they're about to be in. So that's something that I've really just have enjoyed doing, but it's also because I see that is needed. I know how uncomfortable it can be to be the only person who looks like you, who identifies like you in a given space. And I'm just trying my hardest to make those spaces more welcoming and have, again, those higher levels of belonging for marginalized folks.
So those are some really important and admirable goals. Please tell our viewers how they can learn more about Keshet, support you, and find out what's upcoming.
Definitely. So I have a few places that I would love to go ahead and promote. First would definitely be our website, which give me a quick second to make sure that I'm getting it right. Okay, so it's keshetonline.org. There you can find all about what we are up to, what we are doing, how you can get involved, how you can learn more, what resources we have available. We have just a plethora of writings and artwork and zines on just being LGBTQ plus Jews and being Jews of color specifically. You can also find us on Instagram, which is at Keshet LGBT Jews. And this is where we also post a lot of things like highlighting different heritage months, right? Right now, it is AAPI month, which is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And we're working on making sure that Asian Jews are celebrated within this month. So those are the places that you can go ahead and find us and learn more.
Well, thank you so much, Sage. So viewers, please look in the description below for links. And again, Sage, thank you so much for sharing all of that. That's a lovely mission that you all are on, and it's definitely needed. So thank you again, Sage.
To those watching, please follow Team Rayceen on social media and subscribe to the Team Rayceen YouTube channel.
And viewers, thank you for watching.